Hi everyone, welcome back to Alice and the Giant Bookshelf. My name's Alice and today I'm going to be doing the Your Answer Can't Be Books tag. Hi everyone, welcome back to my channel, or welcome if you are new. My name's Alice and I have way too many books. I'm currently trying to read my way through my epic TBR of over 200 books. Today, although it's a bit late for Tag Tuesday, I have been away for a few days, so this is either going to be a belated Tag Tuesday on Wednesday or maybe even a Tag Thursday. Today I thought I would do the Your Answer Can't Be Books tag, which I've seen on quite a few booktubers channels this week. This is an original tag by BookBuds, and BookBuds have set us booktubers the challenge of talking about things that are not books. There are 6 questions to this tag and I will put them all in the description down below, along with a link to BookBuds channel if you want to check them out. So anyway, let's get straight on with the tag. Question 1 is, what is something you own way too much of other than books? I've mentioned before on my channel that I am, some people would probably call it a hoarder, I would call it a collector of many things, not just books. Over the years I've collected many different things. A lot of them are books or they are to do with the printed word, so I won't mention those. Some of the smaller collections that are easier to store have been pencils, which I tend to buy different pencils when I go on holiday or to different places, and it became a bit of a thing in my family that I would always bring back a pencil for my mum if I went on holiday, so that's one collection that I do have. I certainly used to collect badges a lot when I was young, pin badges, and I still occasionally do buy a pin badge, and in later times I bought lots of pin badges of football clubs. And some of the other things are related to hobbies. I, at the moment, have way too many jigsaw puzzles, and specifically these Wasgij puzzles. I had a bit of a phase of buying a lot of these on eBay or if I saw them cheap anywhere, because in the winter I was doing a lot of these, and now I have at least 7 of them that I haven't done yet, so I need to get on with those. But with this collection I don't actually keep them after I've done them. I take photographs of them when they're finished and I then pass them on or sell them, so at least that is not a collection that is going to be in the house forever. Another thing I've collected a lot of, considering they pretty much look the same every year for my football club, is football shirts, and you'll see what I mean. They are always blue and white halves for Blackburn Rovers. I have got the odd Garish away kit, and I do own some England shirts, a couple of Arsenal shirts as well, but mainly Blackburn shirts, and I would say I've got at least 11, so that is too many football shirts. And the last thing I'm going to mention, which is going to lead us on to question 2, is I have way too much yarn. Loads of it. So this is one drawer of yarn that I have. I actually have 2 that are completely full of yarn, and I have a whole one of these drawers full of crochet kits as well, so way too many of those. Way too many. Which leads us on to question 2, what is something that you do for fun that's not reading a book? So we've already mentioned watching football. I don't do that as often as I used to. We've already mentioned Wasgij jigsaw puzzles, more of a winter hobby, but I do like doing that. And of course all of the yarn is for my hobby of crochet. I enjoy making little creatures, and I made a giant blanket during lockdown, so that was very fun. Other things I enjoy doing are going out for walks. Before the pandemic I really enjoyed going out for meals, but I haven't done that for a while, not properly. Question 3 is, what is something special or important on your nightstand that's not a book? So on my bedside table, which is what we call a nightstand in England, I have a lamp, and depending on how much I've tidied it up, other bits and pieces, but I actually don't put my books on my bedside table, usually because it's got too much other stuff on it. I usually have a glass of water on there at night time. I don't really put books on my bedside table. I do read in bed, but when I do, I usually put my book on the floor next to my bedside table, which is strange, but that's what I do. And the other thing I have on my bedside table is a couple of my childhood soft toys. I have my teddy bear, who I've had since I was born, and I also bought to show you, this is probably the most important thing on my nightstand, is my monkey called Pippo, who I've had since I was 1. And he's very important and special to me. He sits on my bedside table. Question 4 is, what's something you buy at a bookstore other than books? I don't really buy anything at bookstores that are not books. I think I may have occasionally in the past bought a greetings card from a bookshop, but I can't really think of anything else that I have bought from there. So that's about it really. Oh, and pre-pandemic I did used to sometimes have a coffee in the cafe in the bookshop near me, so coffee maybe. Question 5 is, what's a fun gift you've received that wasn't a book or a gift card for books? Like everybody, I love receiving gifts, and often my friends do buy me books or book related items. One lovely present that I've had recently that was a big surprise was a beautiful rose plant that my dad sent me for my birthday, and I will try and insert a picture of it here. Yeah, it's a really beautiful gift, and I think the best kinds of gifts are surprises, so I enjoyed receiving something that was a complete surprise. Number 6 is, what's a YouTube channel that you watch that's not related to books? Well, since starting BookTube, I have been mainly watching lots and lots of BookTube channels. One that I do watch occasionally still is Abby Emmons, who is a writer, and she shares lots of writing advice and also does sort of live writing with her videos. I've really enjoyed her channel before I discovered BookTube especially. Yes, some of her advice I have tried to implement when attempting to edit my unedited book. But then I guess that's about writing, so that is related to books. So other channels that I watch, I do watch quite a few YouTube videos with my husband, and he really likes all kinds of different channels, but one that we do watch is Mission Side Hustle, where I believe he's called Corey, is trying to work his way up from, I think it was $500 to $1 million just in doing little side hustles, so that's a really interesting channel. And I also do enjoy, hello Harry, I also do enjoy, hello, you come in the video. I also do enjoy a channel called Yoga with Cassandra. I've really enjoyed doing her yoga tutorials throughout lockdown, although I haven't done one for a little while, so I should get back into that. And with that, we've reached the end of the questions. The final question is to tag 5 booktubers. I'm not really sure if any of you have been tagged yet, who I'm tagging, but if you haven't, I would love to see you do this tag. I'm going to tag Katrina Reads, I'm going to tag Jack at Spread Book Joy, Nikki at Red Dot Reads, Emily at Novell Novels, and Justin at This Just In. They're all BookTube channels that I've really been enjoying watching lately, and I will put all of their details in the description so that you can go and check them out. They are great booktubers. Lots of other people that I would have happily tagged, but I've already seen the videos on their channels. So that brings us to the end of today's tag. Your answer can't be books. I think I've mentioned books a few times, but not as many times as I normally would, so we're doing well. Please do comment down below and let me know some of your non-bookish answers to these questions. Thanks for watching. I hope you enjoyed the video, and if you did, please give it a like. Please consider subscribing if you haven't already. I usually talk all about books all of the time. Please stick around for more bookish chat on a regular basis. I hope you'll join me again soon for another video all about books here on Alice and the Giant Bookshelf. Bye for now.